So even if he had like 2 allegations against him or grape allegations against him, you'd still support him?
Yes.
Is there a limit to the number of grape allegations that you would be like, okay, maybe this is too much grape?
Maybe theoretically. I mean, it would have to be really, really, really,
maybe 100?
really bad.
I mean, my favorite streamer, Hutch, did say several times that he would vote for Plattner even if it came out that he murdered a man 20 years ago and got away with it. And I know you're being tongue in cheek to an extent. But no, I think that is the calculation. And listen, I think to be fair, and again, this is just so obviously reminiscent of 2016, right? This is I could shoot a man on Fifth Avenue and people would still vote for me. And Plattner's might be proven right by this. And I think this is just, if it was a mistake for Republicans to vote Trump in 2016, I think it will also be a mistake to vote Plattner in 2026.
But you voted for Trump in 2024, so clearly it doesn't matter. Don't let people beat you over the head with your own standards when they don't have any. We have to stop this from happening.
Well, I mean, I'm a partisan Democrat. I think the Republican Party is pretty uniquely dangerous right now, and they've been for years, but it's just gotten so much worse. And so, to me, the difference between having a Senate majority and not having a Senate majority, I'd be willing to look past just like so many.
Doesn't even guarantee a Senate majority.
Well, you can't. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball, right? Like I can't.
I do flip in order to get this.
Or I mean, Kyle Kalinske does. Fuck.
Mouton. Same question to you, because I've heard Hutch talk about this, but I haven't heard you talk about this. How, like, say the sexual assault allegations did drop and they were credible and they were severe. Would you still support him even after that?
As my good friend said, I would support Hitler over the current Republican Party as long as they would vote Democrat 90% of the time.
True.
I don't care. I want the committees. I want.
Oh snap! So you like Fetterman?
Fetterman
more than a Republican
Democrat most of the time. Do I want him primaried? Yes, but am I happy with him right now? Absolutely, I'd have him over any Republican. Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Wait, just to be really clear, really quick, are we talking about, because with the Fifield story, New York Times said they read her diary, they read her text messages, read her social media, they found zero corroboration whatsoever. So are you saying that? So that's one of the reasons why it's difficult.
That's not exactly what they said. And again, she'll be able
word
to
for word they
publish
said
all
that.
of this.
For Hutch,
Am I crazy? Does her cadence and the way she speaks and everything just a little bit sound a little bit like Lav? Am I like sometimes when she comes in, I feel like okay.
Mouton, if you found out 2 years ago there is video evidence of him assaulting someone, are you saying it would go that far? If there's actual evidence,
is he gonna vote Democrat?
Okay, just checking.
What if he made a grape tape?
Like, Jesus.
He not only raped a woman, but he recorded it, and he's been saving this in his house. And there's evidence that he watches it periodically, 3 times a week to get off. Would that change your assessment?
It's hard to know where the line is, but there is a line that a candidate could cross where it would have such a drag effect on the rest of the party that I would be in favor of someone like Collins winning. But I don't think we're there yet. Cross that bridge when we get there. But it would have to be really, really bad. And again, just like having control of those subcommittees, during the second part of Trump's second term, that's a really big deal. I mean, they're going to be able to issue subpoenas.
Supreme Court nominees.
If all of the other states go the way that you want them to, also, it's a huge gamble, and it's not even like his race is determinative in the way the presidential race is determinative in that way. He could win, and you guys could still not have control of the Senate. And then it's like everyone holding their nose. I'll let the Grapist murderer or whatever in, and then we can get control of the Senate. And just one more thing, and hold on, let me just say this really quickly. Just in terms of Susan Collins, I understand the animosity towards the Republican Party. I think this negative polarization is really unhealthy for our country, so I wish it weren't so. But Susan Collins, people point to the way that she's voted under Trump and say, oh, she has something like a 90, even 95% voting record of voting for Trump. But under the Biden administration, she had a 50% voting record of voting with Biden. So she is not the evil caricature of a partisan Republican that everyone wants her to be. And again,
50%? You think that's good? It's like putting a pulse ox on somebody and the blood oxygenation level is like 75%. You're like, it's not the best, but they're okay. Do you think that what kind of a comparison is that? I don't know. Never mind. Okay.
Again, kicking her out of this seat does not even guarantee that you guys will have control of the Senate, but it does guarantee that you have a guy with all of this baggage in your party now, and it's hard to get people out once they're in. We know this.
To me, Tali, this is the weakest part of your argument because we don't have a crystal ball, so we just can't know. We have to flip 4 seats. We have to we have to run perfect defense.
Let Hutch finish.
Yeah. Real quick, we have to defend Georgia. We have to defend Michigan. Is Michigan? Would we have to flip it? Is that a red seat?
Michigan?
Don't let Hassan hear that.
No, it's a Democratic seat right now.
We have to flip Alaska. We have to flip Maine. We have to flip Texas.
We could do it without Maine, but it's harder to see. You have to really kind of squint to see the path. And we don't operate with certainty. So it's possible, that we elect him. We're still in the minority, and then he's this liability. But I can't think like that. I just have to maximize.
I would rather him than a Republican, even if he is a liability. He's more often to vote with the Dems. He's going to help with stopping Supreme Court nominees and all of that. I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win.
If I may, to Hutch or to Mouton, right? Because you seem to be making a similar point here, and you were
Wait, I don't get the shitty map. This is saying that for the Senate, sometimes they might be red and blue. How are you supposed to know how many senators they have from each party?
Both very, very open and direct about, your sort of answers. So again, I'm not giving you
Don't let us unclip that one. Oh shit.
a hard time here. I just would like a straight answer. So yes, we don't have a crystal ball, but I would like to pose to you that when you say, oh, well, whatever, he's a liability, would you like every Democrat to have to answer the question, how much did you know about the Nazi tattoo? You think he's a Nazi? It doesn't even matter, right?
I don't care if
Between
they
all
have
of
to
us on this
answer
panel,
the
it doesn't even matter what the actual substance of that is. Do you want every other Democrat to have to answer for that for 6 years?
No, of course not. I don't like him as a candidate. It's the least bad option for me. Like, I really wish
it's less bad for you to have every Democrat up and down the ballot for 6 years answer the question, "Are you a Nazi?" than it is to say,
When has any senator ever been that important? What is this world where somebody's running for the Senate and some of the states like, what do you think about, you're running for the Senate of California? What about the Senate? What about the senator in Maine? How do you feel? It's like, who the fuck? Why, does this happen?
get the Senate some other way?
I can forgive a little hyperbole, but I don't think the senators are going to be asked for 6 years straight if they knew about his fucking.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Hold on, just real quick.
It's kind of a big
But you
one,
understand.
right? It's kind of a bomb that you want to not necessarily throw underneath your own team.
Yeah, of course, but nonetheless, like the main voters have. Yeah, go ahead.
One of the reasons that at least I'm hesitant to support this man, even if he gets locked.
Oh,
in.
true. Just hit him with the what? I haven't heard, what? You hit him with the.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
Right after July 13th is one of the problems we're going to have is everyone, because this race has been nationalized. Everyone's like, Alaska is going to run against Plattner. Texas is going to run against Plattner, right? All the seats that we need to keep are going to be running against Plattner, right? That's what they're going to be painting every single Democrat candidate as, and they'll put out all the endorsements that other Democrat senators and other Democrat politicians and influencers have been trotting out and say these are all indicative of what the Democratic Party is, and I think he's going to be a net drain on the ticket.
I'm just so curious. I'm trying to think. Does this really happen? Where the rest of the party is attacked by some senatorial, is that what you would say, candidates in other states? Maybe if like the president directly endorses them, maybe. But otherwise, I feel like races are a bit more local than that.
Some Republican votes, Wick. They like the tattoo, probably.
True.
Yeah,
Hey, he's white too. He has that white power with him. So
Yeah, they're gonna be excited. They're gonna be like, all right, you know what? They got
dude,
that guy.
Alaska's
He's a
gonna be
good
lit,
boy.
though. Yeah.
And
Texas
I
is
also
awesome.
don't want my
Hey,
party to be
Unironically,
like,
I agree with you guys. That is probably one thing that Plattner has going for him. He will probably pick up the racist dickhead vote. Okay, but I don't think that's something you should be proud of or cheering about.
My whole premise is like you don't have to. Some of the defensive Plattner that I've been seeing on social media is like truly fucking insane. Like it seems like the populist brain rot has really metastasized, and it just looks so similar. It cannot be overstated just how similar it is to MAGA, like the same exact 1-to-1 defenses. You don't have to do that. I think you can treat the voters like adults and just give them the straight story. And frankly, Wick, I just don't think the Republicans have a strong leg to stand on when it comes to candidate equality. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but we're not competing against the Republicans. Yep. We're competing against the couch. And
no, but you said that the Republicans are going to try to.
But that's what I'm saying. They're going to draw comparisons, and they're going to be effective at it. And the people who will stay home, there are going to be a lot of those.
Right? But my point is, I don't know how effective they can be when the Republican Party has had a candidate quality problem that is 100 times worse than the Democrats for years now.
Because I want to put it right to your face, okay? We got a candidate quality problem over here in Maine. We got a candidate quality problem in Texas with Paxton, right?
Yeah.
But we also have a candidate quality problem in Texas with Tallarico. And all you need is a little tip of the scale, and yes, Paxton will beat Tallarico.
I think Tallarico is going to win Texas, and I think that little adorable Christian twink is going to be president one day. That's how strong of a candidate
I wouldn't go president, but I think he will win Texas.
I'm not here.
Like, are you telling me that somebody's going to be running for Senate in fucking Texas, and they're going to be running ads about Plattner? I guess. I mean, I guess it's not impossible, but I feel like this is going to be such a minority of the spending. That just seems wild to me. Or in some other state that's not as like national news, and they're going to be running anti-Plattner ads. I don't know, man.
I'm here to talk shit on Tallarico. I'm just saying in the space that we're talking about Plattner, that all
he's not. You called him a problematic candidate, though. He's not a problematic candidate. He's fine. He's a strong candidate.
People argue his like comments on like trans kids or whatever is going to be problematic, but I think that it's a nothing burger overall.
I agree with that. It's mostly a nothing burger. I just think it's that Texas isn't, necessarily particularly, what's the word here, receptive to blue messaging. Like, Texas isn't necessarily unflippable, but, you need to have the right message. And if we're talking about what is the totality of circumstances with Plattner, the totality of circumstances is he's going to affect other races.
I have a question for everybody.
But I think, go ahead.
Just everybody, because this might help us a little bit lead the conversation. So, who do you think is a more deplorable political figure? I want everyone to answer. Graham Plattner or Ken Paxton?
Paxton.
Paxton.
Don't know. They're both.
I'm not even sure I
Yeah,
understand
I mean-
the question because you phrased it as deplorable political figure, and that makes it like 1,000 times.
Okay,
more
bad.
happy
Just
in my head.
how who cares? Bad. You know what I mean?
Who's worse, Graham Plattner
don't-
or Paxton?
What's the point?
I am going to go ahead and bite the bullet and say I think Plattner's worse specifically because he lies about things that he's been caught lying about. It's not even about lying about things you don't want to get caught about. It's about lying.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary independent voter. This is them. This is the legendary independent. When people are given a ballot or a polling question and they're like, I'm undecided on these two. There they are. Tally over here is like, oh, he's kind of cooking actually, maybe. Yeah, Jesus.
Lying about things that you've already been caught about. If Paxton has done the same stuff, then I will go ahead and say equally bad. But if I'm picking between the two based on what I already know, Plattner is worse because he lies when he has already been caught lying.
What's the point of this? Would you rather?
Hey, y'all, fuck. The next question should be, somebody should ask, if you had to vote for a senator and it was Plattner versus Paxton to represent the Dems, who would you choose? Would this guy really say Paxton would be like a better, less harmful candidate?
Because we're talking about Talarico being an underwhelming candidate. I'm just saying, like, when we have moderates or centrists, and some of you announce yourselves that way, it's just like, why are Republicans able to run big piles of dog shit? Like, Ken Paxton looks like he was sent from hell and the devil melted half of his face, and he's a terrible person. He cheats on his family. He's so corrupt. He steals $1,000 pens from other freaking lawyers because he's such an asshole. And
Because their
meanwhile,
party's built on vice
Talarico
only at this
is a
point.
great candidate. It just makes no sense.
Well,
Yeah, but they don't really care, so they'll throw attacks against us, so we don't vote.
Also, the Republican Party, their bread and butter is like attacking women and minorities. So it's really hard for them to like a white guy like Graham Platter, and that's a white privilege part for Graham, which I definitely agree with, and probably why he's winning in Maine, which is like one of the whitest places, obviously in the country. So it's definitely going to help him, but I think that makes it harder. I think it genuinely does make it harder for them to weaponize Graham Platter.
I think Democratic Senate candidates and other Democrats in other races should just throw Plattner under the bus. Just who was the was it Warner? Was it Warner? Just straight up say like, yeah, this is disturbing. This is, but ultimately this is up to the voters of Maine. It's not a lie.
Hutch,
You know what I mean?
100%. Like for once, I'm actually straight up with you 100%. I'll throw him under the bus, and it's up to the voters of Maine.
Yeah.
Say what Mouton
That's
said.
why-
Say what Mouton said every time. Like Republicans should love him. Just say that like over and over again.
That's why I don't think there's any virtue in this blue no matter who advocacy for Graham Platter, because what we're seeing is just the rise of MAGA, and the more we center him, the more he's just becoming a role model to a really problematic strain of slopulism, and it's getting sexist really, really, really fast. I'm already getting called bitch a lot, over this week, speaking up on this. It's here. It's coming faster than we think.
True.
Throw him under the bus,
The slopulists, the socialists hate women and minorities.
distance him. We should focus our energy on other things. He deserves no additional defense that he can gain with his own campaign in the state of Maine.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Moon.
If you had to vote for senator, either Plattner or Paxton, who are you choosing?
No, and I don't even think that's a fair question. What state do they represent? They're running in two different states, dude.
I mean,
Ask him if they were the same
senator, so they're going through.
Oh
to
no,
represent the whole
no,
United States,
that's
kind of, right? That means
absolutely
they're
not the same
represent
question. If we're asking
If you can't even engage, oh my God.
if they're representing
Okay,
Maine, or if we're asking if they're
sure. Let's say if they're
Texas.
representing Maine,
He's gonna say, well, there are different political parties over there. Oh my God.
who would you rather vote for? That's really going to change your opinion, which state it is.
Absolutely, because
Okay,
I think it would be
why?
really, really, really easy to replace Graham Plattner in Maine. So if we're asking that question about Texas,
Oh,
that's
my
a much,
God.
much harder question for me, because now I'm really thinking about that. But if you're asking me that about Maine, then no, that's significantly easier.
Should we go for Plattner there? I assume, right?
So who would you vote for?
In Maine?
Sure.
No, I'm. Don't say sure. It's your question.
I've already asked it twice now. Who would you vote for in Maine?
He would say Plattner
Okay,
for
no,
sure, at least.
hey, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just trying to be clear here. In Maine, I would probably refuse to vote. Is my answer.
Okay.
And again, I'm saying that full-throatedly. No.
It was even a stupid, it wasn't even the best question. He could have just had to give me and say, oh, I guess I'd vote Plattner. What? This is the centrist, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Really? Really?
No waffling, no trying to trick around your question.
I appreciate you
Because
answering.
I am an independent, I am not a Democrat, I am not a partisan, and if you gave me that choice in the state of Maine, my answer would be, I'm staying home, it doesn't make a difference. I have two
But this doesn't matter.
complete flaming jackasses, and it is
Unreal,
not
dude.
helpful to me in any way whatsoever to put my thumb on that scale, because whether I get what I want or I don't get what I want, I will have tarnished my own reputation by having said that I was willing to have that person represent me. So I would vote third party, I would write in, and I know my vote would go to waste. And I would do that on purpose.
Briefly, how do you feel like the second Trump term is going? Like, do you think
Pretty bad.
And for what it's worth, I voted Harris, and I said that at the top of the.
No, but I'm saying like one of the reasons why it's so important for me that the Democrats take back the Senate is because of the oversight. Like they're going to be able to use that.
No, I understand that, but you need to understand there are voters that are like me, right? And I'm not here to say I am some paragon of how everybody who's like me is going to vote, right? But I was asked a tough question. If we were running
a tough question
versus Paxton in Maine, how would you vote? And I gave you my honest answer. I would refuse to vote for either of them.
Right, but you said you're
I just hate, dude, the political environment we exist in right now is just absolutely fucking unbelievable. Oh my God.
Your morals wouldn't let you like look at yourself in the mirror and say that you supported this candidate, but like I guess to me I focus on the larger structural problem. Like, so would your morals allow you to look yourself in the mirror when you knew that this
I'm not a partisan, Hutch.
No, I'm not saying anything about it.
I'm not partisan. I'm not part of this. The independents love it. I'm not partisan. I'm not part of your political party, man. I'm an independent thinker, man. They're all the same, man.
His question, please.
That's why I asked you how do you feel about the Trump administration? You said it fucking sucks. And so like I'm asking you, do you think that the Trump administration right now needs oversight? Do you think that the Congress needs to rein this? Okay, so I don't understand how your morals wouldn't.
Congress is made of 535 people. One person does not fix or change that. It's full of 535 fucking cowards.
Nominee.
A majority.
The first person changes that.
Well, I think what's being missed and how we're talking past each other a little bit, and I think Alice may have touched on this earlier. It might have been Tally, one of the two. It's a gamble. It's a gamble to put our support, to put our backing behind this guy when it might not actually put a check on the power, right? And so we're betting that he's going to be able to A, beat Collins, which isn't necessarily the case, right? I do not. I think that Collins has won by being further behind than she is now, right, in the polls. And two, if he does win, will we win enough to flip the Senate? And those are two big gambles for people. And even like someone like me who hates Trump, thinks Trump is one of the worst presidents of all time and is doing damage to this country in a way that we will take generations to repair. I don't know. I don't know if I could pull that lever for him.
Yeah, but there's no we. There's no we, Wick. It's not up to us. It's up to the voters of Maine. Like, and they seem to be. Yeah, go ahead, Tolly.
Sorry, I just want to ask a hypothetical because now I'm kind of interested to get at actually the way that people are weighing the morality of the alleged crimes in these matters. So back to the Ken Paxton versus Graham Plattner scenario. They're both running in Maine or Texas. You can take them separately. What if they're both running in Democrats in a primary? Who are you supporting?
Support Paxton.
Plattner. What if they say again?
Wait, what?
You support Paxton if they both run blue?
As Democrats, I agree with that, obviously, because Paxton is not accused of physically.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about politics. I'm so sorry. I don't know anything. I fucked up again. Hold on. Who is Paxton? He's running. Paxton was the attorney general under Abbott, right? The guy who was impeached. The guy who was helping Abbott ship off fucking over 100,000 illegal immigrants to other fucking places. Did I misunderstand the question? Hold on. I must have misunderstood it. Hold on. I must have misunderstood the question. I'm so confused right now. Hold on.
Tolly.
Sorry, I just want to ask a hypothetical because now I'm kind of interested to get at actually the way that people are weighing the morality of the alleged crimes in these matters. So back to the Ken Paxton versus Graham Plattner scenario. They're both running in Maine or Texas. You can take them separately. What if they're both running in Democrats in a primary? Who are you supporting?
Support Paxton.
What if they were say again?
Hutch didn't understand the question. He just didn't understand the question. Hutch didn't understand the question.
If they're both
you support Paxton if they both run blue?
No.
As Democrats, I agree with that, obviously, because Paxton is not accused of physically assaulting and abusing women.
God.
So yes, I agree with that. My question is if they're both running in a Democratic
before you go on,
primary.
I want to get everyone on record.
No. Hutch misunderstood the question. He was typing. There's no way Hutch understood that question correctly.
This question is a good question.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, in the primary, in the Democratic primary, Mouton, Paxton versus Plattner. Who you pulling that level for?
Oh, no. That's the question? Sorry.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, God. Okay. I was like, we burned too many bridges lately. I can't throw him on the Connor bus. No, he misunderstood. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a Democratic primary.
I would vote for
Sorry,
Plattner.
was Paxton involved in January 6th at all?
He was involved in so much stupid shit.
Assume that he's.
How do you get impeached from Texas conservatives? He got impeached. The Senate acquitted him, but Jesus Christ.
Running as a Democrat, he's a full-throated Democrat.
Yeah,
that you believe that
still the question remains.
That you believe that he will vote.
6? I don't actually know.
I don't know.
If he was involved,
Paxton was the AG when Texas was trying to not expropriate. What do you call it? Extradite like that doctor from New York for shipping like a Plan B pill or whatever, right? Was Paxton the one who initially was trying to argue for like the abortion bounty hunters that you could, bro? There's but he misunderstood that. Hutch misunderstood that. No one else knows anything about Paxton. I understand.
January 6th, I'm voting Plattner every time.
Right
I haven't got over Paxton much on stream because he's just like, that's just like a bad guy. It's like saying like, it's like you have like a good guy versus bad guy tournament coming up, and somebody's like, can you rant off everything about Goebbels or whatever? It's like, no, I don't know the specific. I just know enough to know he's so bad. I don't even need to know that many specifics, right? Paxton is like that guy, 100%. Like,
let me help you answer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay, if he
somehow.
wasn't, if he was not involved in January 6th, and he
he was AG when Texas was trying to challenge the election results. He led the charge. Was he the guy? Was he leading the? Did he file the Texas v. Pennsylvania case? Because I don't know if the state attorney general is the one who would be or if it would be something else. But this was when Texas didn't like, I think, the way that Pennsylvania did mail-in ballots, and they were like, "We're going to sue Pennsylvania because we don't like how that state is voting for president." It's bro. Oh my God, it's okay. It was filed by Paxton. This guy is actual. Oh my God, just look at him, bro. He looks like a bad guy. All the conservatives look like bad guys. They look like bad guys too. I'm sorry.
if he was a lifelong Democrat, even.
It doesn't really matter if he's a lifelong Democrat because I'm just weighing like the abhorrent shit that they've done.
Right. That's my point.
He was present. But it doesn't sound like he marched into the Capitol.
Well, he gave a speech touting his
did give a speech.
unsuccessful legal effort to overturn the 2020 presidential.
Yeah, I go Plattner then. That's easy.
I mean, he was like Paxton was impeached by his own party in the state legislature in Texas for bribery, just like open corruption. I mean,
not
he's
good.
So much worse. He's so much worse.
So much worse. Thank you, Hutch. Thank you.
Plattner has a messy past. But Plattner has a messy past. He's got some fucking messy interpersonal relationships.
He has a messy present.
He's got a. Yes, I agree. I agree. But I'm just saying,
I think some of these things exhibit worse moral character. That's why I am actually surprised by these answers. If we're talking about the moral character of these people and not loading it with the partisan, because again, I think it's completely logical and rational to make a blue no matter who vote.
Yep.
I did.
Oh, how could you even say that? Just fucking put Plattner in a room without any women. Boom. Problem solved. Who cares? Oh my God.
Yikes. We're talking about moral character.
Woo!
Here and you voted for him?
Yes, exactly. Okay. And I think that it was a huge mistake for
ask her if Kamala would have been better.
Listen, this conversation is not about my personal political journey. We can have another conversation if you would like to. But I think as someone who voted for Trump in 2024 and I have very different opinions about the way that my vote looks now, close to 2 years after, I still wish that Trump never won in 2016. I don't think any of this is healthy for our country, for our politics.
It's not, Tally. I'm not making the argument that Plattner
let Hutch go, then you can go after. Hutch, please.
I'm not making the argument that Plattner is good for the party. I don't think he's good for the party, but he is the candidate that the voters have main chose. So surely you can understand someone with the perspective of a Democratic Party partisan who genuinely feels like the Republican Party are very dangerous. Like people are getting hurt because of these policies, because of these judges that are handing down these decisions. And so
not only
it's a different kind of moral calculation.
Not only can I understand it, that's what I said at the top also. I think it's completely logical and rational. Not only can I understand it, I think Republicans and Republican-leaning independents are in a bit of a bind here because essentially this is what the Republicans do. It's bad to lose. That losing is losing, right? And that you should try to win at any cost, even if you have to hold your nose to do it. So yes, I agree. The Republicans are not in good standing to make this argument. But I'm asking each person here to look into their own soul and to weigh these things and to think about what is best for this country. So yes, I do understand the calculation as a partisan to want to.
When you're a Democrat, you have to think about what's best for the country. When you're a Republican, just think about what's best for you and your party right now.
Power for your party because you believe that there's existential threat in the opposite party. However, again, just especially. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, ideally, someone like Plattner helps us win a majority, and then we have a strong nominee in 2028, someone who can maybe begin to repair some of the damage, to take off the attention from Plattner. We need a generational talent, someone who's perceived as an outsider, maybe like Ossoff. That's kind of
I'm not writing this election cycle. Sorry, Hutch. You'll have to.
Just want to say, the thing I'm most scared of is Thomas and Alito. If the Dems don't win the Senate, retiring, and then Donald Trump getting 2 more Supreme Court nominee picks.
Yeah, that's just
that is a real possibility. Thomas is 76, about to be 77, Alito 75. So I'm deathly scared of that. I would almost vote for any Democrat at this point.
That's why I question your willingness to sign up with Mr. Liar Nazi.
Oh my God.
Is a demonstrated
he
liar.
Seems like the one right now who is going to win and going
to
move forward.
Hutch,
we don't have data on polls since the most recent allegations dropped.
Oh my God!
What do
I'm
you think he's lying
sorry.
about? You think he's going to
Cope,
secretly like
that's
vote
a
for the
massive
Republican nominee?
cope. I love all the my libs here, but that is a huge cope.
That the voters of Maine have already chosen him because the election isn't until fucking tomorrow, dude. So I'm the guy who's literally in here, and I described myself as the pissed off independent. So
do you want to bet $1,000 with 100 to 1 odds that he will win the primary tomorrow?
I am not saying that I am betting that he's going to not win the primary. I am saying
I'll give
that
you
I am here
100 to
to
1
very
odds.
explicitly press all of you to say, hey, if you actually care about Democrats, if y'all are the partisans that you say you are, then you
I tried, bro. I fucking tried.
Very
I tried.
I advocated for Jordan Wood months ago.
And you should invite.
I want to hear from Alice, then Mouton, then yeah, go.
Oh, I advocated for Jordan months ago. There's 24 hours before the primary. Independents can come out and vote and do whatever they want in 24 hours. I don't give you good odds on that. There is until July 13th at 5 p.m. The chance for the Democratic Party to pressure him to step down, and the Democratic Party can appoint someone in his place.
That can't. That would be a nightmare. You can't do that. I'm so sorry. That would be a fucking
Since those
nightmare.
recent allegations came out,
You
he's running
can't.
not against Ken Paxton, but against a woman who is coded herself as a moderate and a reliable representative of the state. It's not looking good for Plattner long term. Yeah.
I don't love his odds, but I tried. I've been saying for months this guy's a fucking bonehead, and like if the party was smart, then if the voters of Maine were smart, they would go a different way with it. But
too bad Chuck Schumer.
But who? Why, the Democrats didn't put anybody up. Who was running against? Who was running against him besides the Mills? I mean, and she fucking got crushed, right? So I mean, what are you gonna say? They couldn't find another 80-year-old to run against him. I mean, that's it is what it is. Like,
dropped out.
Joel, jump in. You've been too quiet.
Yeah, hold on.
It's definitely Chuck Schumer's fault this whole thing happened. Chuck Schumer is the reason why Janet Mills came in and pushed out all of the other, promising candidates. There was Jordan Woods, Alice. Is it Wood or Woods? Do you know?
I think it's Wood.
Wood.
He switched to a Congress race.
Yeah, he's running for Congress now. And there was another candidate, too, who was an outsider. I forget. I think he owned like a brewing company. He was like an outsider business type person. I forget his name, but I saw his ad, and it was pretty good. It was like a Mouton type ad even at the time. And Schumer came in and gave no support to insurgent candidates, no support to grassroots candidates that might be promising for the future. No, he called whoever was on his, he has like a regular flip phone, whoever is on a speed dial. He called up Janet Mills, and Janet Mills put no effort into her campaign. She did no events. She was not going to have a debate.
Didn't get any support.
She kind of gave up. Yeah, they couldn't raise any money, but they never really went hard to even try. They just put out messages about Plattner being toxic, and that's just not going to grip voters as much as it did.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. I wouldn't fight you on that. I'm frustrated with Schumer.
But this is my question, though. This is my thing about the Democratic Party. Is one of the reasons why progressives are successful sometimes in these races is because they can find whatever talent. And no matter what you think about Plattner, he knows how to campaign. He knows how to put an ad together. His voice, Hutch does a really good Plattner voice on the stream. Definitely recommend checking that out. Probably the best Plattner voice that I've seen so far. You got to practice that for everyone that has PDS.
They want to talk about my personal life, and they don't want to talk about policy in Maine.
Yeah, exactly. But like, why can the center of the party not find new candidates who are promising, put money behind them? Instead, we have like Jim Clyburn refusing to retire and refusing to allow other leaders to rise up in their races or even in the party.
I don't know why you say this when the centrist establishment wing just have by far a better track record when it comes to like running successful candidates and can win in competitive districts. I don't know where.
Isn't the reason Clyburn's not retiring the fact that like South Carolina isn't changing their maps because like if they did, South Carolina would probably like burn down. So I kind of think
they did change their map.
Sure,
they left.
I think you got a point, Mouton. They left the Clyburn is running for literally the same reason that Collins is.
I think South Carolina did get the votes or something to change their maps, and then for whatever reason they didn't. But I think they could, but they chose not to, I believe, because that Clyburn district I think was conservative.
Because they've been there for fucking ever, and they have seniority on their what the hell's the word for it? They're you know what I'm trying to say here.
It passed the House but not the Senate. Is that what it was? I thought they got all the votes they needed in both houses, and they just didn't. They didn't change it for whatever reason.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Committees, thank you. There we go. They're senior on their committees. Clyburn is running because he's super senior on his committee in the exact same way that Collins is running because she's super senior on her committee.
Clyburn has a shitload of clout in South Carolina. He has the support of the voters in South Carolina. So,
I'm not disputing that, and I apologize for getting us derailed over me not remembering a word, but that's all I was getting at. Is that yes, of course, yes, he's running.
Did you see the beheading video in Ireland that just happened? No, I usually watch beheading videos after stream. Why the fuck would I have just seen a beheading video? What the fuck kind of question is that, bro? Go play some Stardew Valley. Jesus Christ, YouTube chatter.
Again, because he's got seniority in the exact same way that yes, of course, Collins is running again because she has seniority. Remember, I'm not a partisan. I look at these things and I see them from both sides.
I'm not a partisan. I've actually found a way to feel more intelligent than both sides
of the aisle. Also, I'd like to hear more from Alice.
Well, let me run my panel. We'll get there. Okay, I promise.
I'm apologizing for being a jerk and taking too much time.
Wait, Hutch asked me a question. Can I respond to Hutch really quick about that?
That's where I was trying to take us before anyone else jumps in.
I would say to Hutch that some of those races were a result of progressives pushing centrist or more centrist candidates to be better.
Oh my God.
And like I think about the race of Nancy Pelosi's old district with a Scott Weiner, I believe his name is, being able to win. He's still a very progressive candidate. And Tallarico was seen as the more centrist candidate in Texas. And his interviews are like, we are the top versus the bottom. The billionaire class is paying everyone to not fight, to make us fight each other instead of fighting the real enemy, the rich billionaire class. So,
yeah, that's all the slopulous right on the left hand, right?
The rhetoric is being borrowed. John Ossoff talks about the Epstein class. He's a Jewish man, but often that line is called when Rokana says it or Plattner says it as anti-Semitic. But that rhetoric is being used everywhere. The populist rhetoric, no matter what kind of populism it is. is. Even the centrist moderate candidates that are super successful, it seems like are they not adapting some of that like rhetoric at least, like how Rico is?
It's another way that the Dems are following the Republicans down into hell. Yeah, it's another unfortunate turn in
But
our.
why
I
are they
can't.
doing that?
Her voice is like eliciting a triggered response from me. Oh my god.
People like to have excuses for. People like to be able to blame other people and power and scary, conspiracies for their problems. And so it is very appealing for people to have scapegoats, whether that's the billionaire class or the deep state or the Epstein class or the Zionist class or any of these things. People like to have scapegoats for their problems. I agree these things are like, if we're talking just like purely pragmatically, I understand why people like Hutch say like, you lean into some of it, it's effective, it's gonna help you get power if you don't believe that these people are at real risk of actually going down this populist rabbit hole. But this is not healthy politics. That doesn't make it good. That doesn't make it productive. It doesn't mean that we should be rooting for it.
But my question would be then, but you compared like anti-Zionism and talk about Israel for everything, which I agree is bad with how like Hassan uses it, and also about like blaming immigrants and minorities. But we can tell in the data that those things are not like true, especially with like, immigrants and crime. But for the ultra wealthy, I think it is a more reasonable problem to be mad about that Elon Musk is going to be a trillionaire after he basically did currency and market manipulation to get to the point where he is in his career. And SpaceX right now is having a really
I think class warfare is bad. I don't support class warfare. I don't support any
but
of
it's
this
happening
stuff.
from the top already in many ways.
That's a perspective. I disagree with you. I disagree with you that it's bad for Elon Musk to be superbly wealthy. That's a disagreement that we have.
But one man having that much power is the question. And I'm saying versus immigration, though. Versus immigration as an existential threat. I feel like wealth is more of isn't it more reasonable to be mad about wealth than immigration?
Yeah, but
I think it's reasonable to have a perspective.
Just real quick, I want to hear from Hutch, and then I have a question for, and then I want to hear from Alice, and I have a question for the panel. Go ahead.
It sounds like you're trying to credit progressives for the idea of like taxing wealthy people more, but it's like welcome to the Democratic Party for the last, I don't know, several decades.
True.
They already do that. Like blue states tax the highest income bracket at higher levels than red states, like but sometimes by considerable margins. Obama raised taxes on wealthy people. Biden raised taxes on wealthy people. Clinton raised taxes on wealthy people, I believe, as well. So that's not really like something that the progressives came up with. They just
the populist rhetoric, though, Hutch. The rhetoric. I agree that's true.
Yeah, no, it's true. We're in a bit of a populist moment right now, and
they say it.
And I like Tallarico's form of populism. It's like a lighter form of populism. Sometimes it gets a little cringe for me, but that's fine. I think that's like tactically smart right now because that's what the voters are responding to. Because populism and anger go really well together, and the electorate right now is very, very angry.
I don't like that answer, Hutch. I really don't. Like it's like, yeah.
Well, I want to win. You know what I mean?
If racist rhetoric was effective, would you use it?
Racist rhetoric?
Yeah, if it was politically effective to be super racist, would you use that rhetoric?
True.
I mean, I don't probably not. No, I mean, like I don't want the Democratic Party to
have the same problem. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know.
What if it's Ben Carson?
Large the same places, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems like an imperfect comparison to like populism versus like racist rhetoric. I mean, I agree with you. It's a sign that things are degenerating in this country. It's not a good sign. But the best things for Democrats to do right now is to win the midterms, take back majorities, win another trifecta, get rid of the filibuster, and then deliver like really good policy like paid family leave and public option, maybe some court reform. That's the path out of this moment that we're in right now.
I'm hoping we get a bit of the Mamdani effect where they come in and then they go way more towards the middle and they move a bit from like the sloppyism and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for Plattner and I guess Tallarico to like an extent. We'll see how that happens. It seems like when people get into Congress, they change quite a bit. So,
yeah, well, I think it's more possible with Tallarico than I do with Plattner. Alice, you were trying to say something earlier. Go ahead.
So why Graham Plattner succeeded in this race thus far is because there was a lack of significant talent to go up against him. After the last Senate race in the seat, Democrats got scared. Lots of big talent didn't want to risk it, which is why Chuck Schumer went and begged Mills to jump in, because there was not seen to be someone who could beat Collins. Jordan Wood ran a weak campaign despite having good ideas. Graham Plattner showed up locally because there was no real competition. This is a huge problem generationally, the Democratic Party, as the pipeline of typical young progressives has been subverted by the array of the Young Turks spin-offs into disengagement, where they identify with progressive values but do not volunteer with Democrats, do not become that next generation of operatives. It's a huge drought of operatives. You can go to runforsomething.net if you would like to help rectify this problem.
Okay. I agree. I think that one of the problems we're having right now is long-term versus short-term. Short-term, if we get the seat, let's say it goes as great as the pro-Plattner people, or I won't call you pro-Plattner, but the blue no matter who people, right? The blue no matter who people say. We win the seat, we get a Senate majority, we're able to do what we need to do. I still think that there is an argument, and one I'm leaning towards right now, that the long-term damage we do to our brand, to the party as a whole, to the rhetoric that is seen as winning, etc., that it just makes the world worse and America worse overall than if we
maybe
lose.
if he was running for president, but he's going to be one congressman out of over 500. You know what I mean? Like I don't love that Fetterman is the way that he is, but you know he's like a mild distraction at most.
But
you know what I mean? Like
Can I jump on that?
Go ahead, Alice, please.
Oh yeah. So we should treat him like we do Fetterman, where it's one question: should he win the election and be allowed to vote on policies, which we have reasonably good hopes for, even though there's no evidence back it up. But I'm okay with that.
No
it's
evidence back. Well, he's running as a Democrat.
Who
right?
requires we need to positively advocate for him, because the more airtime and spotlight this guy's getting, the more of a fandom he's building and being held up as an icon. That is the cultural harm that is spreading through the internet first and culture downward nationwide, regardless of being limited to one Senate seat. Any defense for this guy, like, that's different. Should he win? Sure, that's up to voters to main decide. We can all just shut up about it, and that'll probably happen.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all about him once he becomes the candidate. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah, I think if you're in Maine and you worked for Mills and all of that, I think you should be out there trying as hard as you can to win the seat. Yeah.
If you have anything nice to say about him, you shouldn't say it at all.
I disagree. I think that one of the things that's going to happen is this.
Get a panelist to say it.
Go.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, PvP. But I have something to say. So go ahead, and then I'll say my thing. Go ahead.
Mouton, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to give you a terribly hard time.
Sure.
But I am absolutely not going to vote for Plattner or anyone like him. I don't live in Maine. It's not my decision. And I think it is absolutely up to the voters of Maine. Hutch said it earlier, and I said I agreed with it, and I stand by that. But if you gave me a binary between Graham Plattner and Susan Collins, not only would I vote for Susan Collins, I would advocate and work for Susan Collins. I am an
independent, by the way.
Nonpartisan
independent.
On the Bernie Sanders campaign
nonpartisan
in 2016. Independent. And I can tell you, I walked away from that in disgust, because
the DNC rigged it.
The candidate that I thought I was volunteering for was not the candidate I was actually volunteering for.
Wait, what?
But if that helps you understand a little bit, you can get people like me off the bench. You can get them involved in a campaign for a partisan party campaign. You can get us involved, but I'm not going to do it for the wrong candidate, and I am going to fight against you if you put up somebody that I think is disgusting. And I think Graham Plattner is disgusting.
Yeah,
because he is a liar.
He
is a liar. I don't know how you trust him on anything, because you're saying, well, he would be better. How would you know he'd be better than anything? Because the one thing you know about him, the only thing you know about him, is that he is a liar.
Well,
the worst thing he could do is go and vote exactly like Susan Collins is probably going to do. And that is as bad as
way worse than Susan Collins. Are you listening to yourself?
Oh my God!
If you think a Democratic candidate is going to go in and just completely vote 100% for Trump,
you think somebody who lies compulsively to your face is
somebody
he lied.
He lied one time. If he lied, that means every single thing is going to be like, oh, he lied.
Time for all of Trump's things, yes or no?
Gang based.
No. I'll answer.
This is a very simple question. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll answer your question, but I want you to answer mine first.
Sure. What's your question?
Do you think you can trust somebody who lies compulsively all the time on what they say they're going to vote for,
all
versus
the time,
somebody you don't always agree with, but who does not lie to you?
Susan Collins lies all the time.
I don't think you can trust anybody completely.
I don't even care, and I'm going to challenge the comment that she lies constantly, present lies.
Hold on, just real quick. Let Hutch get in here.
There's a difference between being deceptive or not wanting to.
We got it.
Fine, and I get that, right?
Please, buddy.
Okay.
Hutch.
I'm having trouble understanding your concern, because it sounds like your concern is that he'll go in there and maybe vote with the Republicans, and so because that disgusts you so much, you would vote for the Republican. Like, I don't understand what that means. Like,
this is an independent, by the way.
Of the theory of mind over here, because what I said is that I think he's disgusting because he's a liar, and then you're projecting that onto his voting record, which I said, how do you trust his voting record because you know he's a liar? That's two different.
It's about what we would.
Two different things, Hutch.
It's about what we would reasonably expect, and I think it's
but he's a liar. And you're not.
I don't know what that means. Like, is he going to go in there and vote against? Vote with Republicans most of the time? Like, what? I don't know what you think the risk is.
What advocacy? What package do you think you're supporting other than generic Democrat? Right? If that's part of the conversation we're having about vote blue no matter who, right?
I think he'd probably vote to convict if there was an impeachment trial. I think he would probably vote along with the Democratic Party if they were to pass a bunch of symbolic bills.
It's so cringe.
I agree with that.
I think he would vote
out there.
Let's
think he would vote
let's
yes.
say Medicare for all actually came up. Do you think that that's something that he would actually
Yes.
support?
Yes. And absolutely, he has a quote out there. It says, "I'm not going to be a pain in everyone's ass, and no offense to the Pennsylvania senator.
Doesn't matter. He's a liar. Watch. Get ready. He's about to counter him. Doesn't matter. He's a liar. He's a liar. Doesn't matter. He's a liar. Watch this. He's about to get owned. Here we go.
but he
At
also
least the
said he
majority
didn't
of
have a
the
Nazi
time.
tattoo.
Stop.
So, I
Oh
mean,
my
he
God,
says a lot of
Wick.
things.
Sure.
Here he goes. Hold on. Doesn't matter. He's a liar. Doesn't matter. He's a liar.
No, stop. Everyone shut up.
One time.
Everyone
he
shut up.
lied
Everyone
about
shut up.
So many things.
One time, Mouton? You think he
I'm
went
sure he
lied
lied a ton
one
of times.
time
As long
about
as he-
one thing?
And
If I can
about
flip a
what?
coin and 50% of the time he votes Dem, I'm voting him over the Republican every time. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's a bigger problem to look at. It's not
Susan
that he just
Collins
lies
voted
sometimes,
Dem
or most
50% of the
Everybody
time
let
during the
Alex
Biden
talk.
During
Everybody
Biden,
talk.
sure. Has she done
That's
that during the
Alex
Trump
talk.
administration?
Okay, Alice, please.
The point is that she tends to vote at least 50% of the time with
Alice,
the president,
please.
regardless of the
Alice,
party.
not
She's an
Tali.
actual
Okay, so
Not
moderate.
Tali.
regardless of a tendency to lie or flip sometimes, there's also a more concerning pattern where he seems easily naive and duped. On the tattoo, explanations range from the steel man of he didn't really know or care or look into it and just went along with his bros and got a tattoo on his body for years. Two, he's actively and repeatedly fallen down multiple ideological pipelines and said and done stupid shit for a number of years. This is a guy I do not trust to get into the Senate where Republicans could try to court him, get him in a closed room meeting, and I think he could easily kind of flip. He only seems to really flip on some stuff. He only got rid of the tattoo when it was public and he was confronted on it and had no other way out. This is like a dude you cannot trust
that.
to flip.
with a Democrat. You don't have to do that with a Republican. It's already a done deal.
But Susan Collins knows the full set of cards and the full table and still sometimes does not go with the Republicans. She has
Oh
principles.
my God.
I
50%
All right, go
of
watch
the
Wick. I
time
love you
under
guys.
the
I'll be back
Biden
tomorrow. Take care.
administration.
No, but-
That's
but-
exactly
During
Uh,
Trump.
that-